Good morning, guys. Here we are in the rental. Give you the full profile. How about that? Hate these seats, by the way. We're sitting on the engine. We're sitting on the motor. It's underneath me. I feel it. But it's not without its issues, because it's one of those that turns off when it's idling. It's no fun at all feeling that rumble die. Then you think, gee, I hope it turns on again. Mechanic has already told me that these things damage your starter motor because it's turning on and off constantly. There's got to be a better way. Anyway, we're heading out. I thought I'd share with you a new view. This one because I've been looking at different people's videos. And look, there's a lot of suggestions out there about how to get more views, how to get more subs, all this. But I don't think that's what we got into this for. I got into this thing because I loved watching YouTube. It was all about what I wanted to watch. I didn't have to watch commercials like on television, 3, 4, 5 minutes worth of ads. What do you reckon? I mean, yeah, I loved watching the old intro theme songs to different TV shows. You know, everyone brought up the Knight Rider music, you know, because, oh, it's there. It's on YouTube. Of course, you know. Wow, it's a noisy old thing, isn't it? I wonder if you can even hear me over there. There's really no place to put the phone, you know, really. And not just that. I've been schooled enough lately that people are saying, stop doing that. Man, I'm just driving to work. What's the difference? I always think I'd be talking anyway. You know, like a lot of people think that maybe, you know, when you make a video, you're supposed to be sitting in a studio. You're supposed to be you know, doing all the things that you're supposed to do. Have an intro, have a hook, have a theme, have a plot, you know, make a mini Hollywood movie. Seriously, if you want to watch Hollywood movies, all you do is go to watch Hollywood movies. You don't have to make your own. The whole point of YouTube is making your own thing. And do you want millions of people to see it? No, that's the whole point. The whole point is you can express yourself in the way that you'd like to. That in a way you'd even watch your own self back and say, oh yeah, that's what I like to watch, that kind of thing. And then they start suggesting you things that are like what you do, what you like. Direct, normal people, everyday people, okay? Not these, I don't know, just these fancy pants sitting there telling people everything there is. They don't know. They don't know. We're humans. We talk to each other, don't we? We do. What do you reckon? We talk to each other. That's all. I don't want to talk to millions of people. What would be the point? That would be common knowledge. If everyone knew everything, well, the whole point is that some people know something and some people don't. Some people know one thing, some people know another. That's the whole point of sharing, isn't it? I mean, look, I'm against this ban on social media. I think we need it. It's the only way you're going to talk to anyone, because no one in the real world, especially here, wants anything to do with anyone. Okay, fine. We'll create our own world where people are as they should be. So actually, being human now means you have to buck the trends. You got to buck the trend. Don't follow them. You see, let's say you catch on to a trend. How long do you reckon you're going to milk that baby for? You're not. You're going to do one thing. It's original. It's unique. It's genuine. Well done. Move on. Do something else. Don't do that same thing again. It doesn't work. And in fact, what do you want to do that for? what YouTube has is an issue about robotics. It just loves robotics. If you say the same thing over and over and again, and you do it every day consistently, you know what? They'll start to notice and they'll start putting you somewhere. But whether that's somewhere you want to be or not, I don't know. I've had some huge hits, but from a weird audience that, yes, took interest in watching, but that's all. Didn't say a word, didn't say yes or no, didn't agree nor disagree. You know, sorry, I can't really. Not going to watch the chat. I will read it back, guys. Feel free to message each other. Post whatever you want on the comments. I don't care. I don't review them. I don't look at them. I get emails and emails, and I never read them. I'll tell you, I'm a normal person who doesn't care about that. I'm here. I'm going to drive to work. I want you here. Shotgun. Be my shotgun. Come on. Be my shotgun. That's all. Make sure I get to work. Because if I get to work and I'm safe, I'll be back with a new thing. You know, I'm not going to do the same thing tomorrow. Oh, I heard one guy, he's been doing things for so long, suddenly he decides to run unscripted. Ooh, interesting. Interesting to hear. Yeah, run without a script. That will show you who you are. If you sit there reading an auto cue, I don't think really, you know, you got to give credit to the people who know how to improv. You cannot sit there and write a script of improv. It's not possible. That's not improv, by the way. If you sit there with a produced thing, you'll be judged on that produced thing. I take some sort of, I love the fact that this is unproduced. There's no credits, apart from I give credit to all the people that I learn from. And that's it. That's what you got to do through life. You love your parents, you thank them every day for giving birth to you and growing you up to be a big, grown-ass man, grown-ass guy. You know, you're a grown-ass man. You ever hear that one? And I thought, yeah, I'm a grown-ass man. You know, what do grown-ass men do? They just do stuff, okay? And they may repeat themselves, but they don't expect millions of people to care about that. They're doing it for themselves, all right? So, I've revealed it. Fails drop, okay? That means, like, yes, I've been pretending to be a bird because I thought no one was interested in humans. Really? We're interested in animals, aren't we? We love animals, don't we? We love animals. We don't love humans as much as we love animals, sort of. I mean, it's a different love. You know, it's a different. When you love animals, you love nature. There's something unsaid about that. There's something unspoken. There's no sign standing there saying, "This nature was brought to you by," you know, none of that. So what I want to do is rip down all this commercialism and all this rubbish that I'm not interested in at all. That's why I've said time and time again, please don't monetize me, because that means you can't demonetize me, okay? Just leave me alone. I'm a YouTuber just like you, just like everyone else here. I want to YouTube, I want to express myself my way. I want to watch that sunrise, I want to share it with you. It's magical. Here it is. It's 13 minutes past 6. Sun's sitting there pretty much at the same, maybe a touch higher. It's way over the trees now, but yeah, it's a bit half an hour later than it was yesterday, but that's all right. Yeah, it's well up there now. It's about three forests high. You can imagine that. 3 horizons high. Okay, but it's only sitting at about 20 odd. It's not even like it's nowhere close. It's just come up. She's fresh, she's beautiful. Thanks for the sun, guys. You guys on the other side of the world. I love you lots. I really do. I'm always amazed to see how many different countries are on my audience list. I just love them. Just give me one person from everywhere. I don't want the whole country. I'm not interested in nations, nationalities, all this kind of created stuff is not real, okay? It's not real. The most real thing is you were born, okay? A woman gave birth to you. Okay, I'm going to say that again. I know how unpopular it is. Men don't like to know that they came out of a woman. No, yes you did. You came from a woman, and in a kind of way, you're going to go back to her. You know? That's it. That's a man's life. Don't expect any more. You're not an alien. You didn't come from the moon. You know? You didn't come from an egg. You're not a bird. So I decided, yeah, Magpie, you got to take off the mask, bro. Just take it off. Enough. People know you're a person. You can't pretend to be a robot. You can't pretend to be a bird. None of that is feasible because it's not real. So I'll tell you what's not feasible. Holding up any kind of cultural norm as a given that is an eternal value. No, there's no eternal values for us, okay? There may be a such thing as eternity. There may be some things that are eternal, but the thing about us is we are a transient thing. We're born and we die. Simple. We come and we go. That's it. You cannot find permanency in it, okay? You must find your feet in a moving trajectory. You cannot possibly stand still in a machine full of moving parts. It's not possible. You want to get chopped to pieces, that's what happens, because you're standing still in a machine full of moving parts. That's not how movement works. That's not how momentum works. You cannot stand on a travelator and really congratulate yourself on getting something. You're being carried. Now, if you're being carried, give credit to the people who carry you. Let's pretend your father's name, Joseph, and he's walking you to safety, okay? And you are getting the hell out of wherever you need to go. Well, Daddy-o, thanks for helping. Thanks for starting up the car. Thanks for getting Mum ready and out the door with everything we need. Mum was usually the one who made the picnic. Dad would be checking the oil of the car. Okay, that's work, isn't it? Not like he's having fun out there under the car, making sure it's not leaking. You know, that's work. Same way Mum remembers to bring the phone charger, because we're going somewhere, we'll have to charge your phone, you know. Thoughtful things. That's what humans do. They think for each other. They go, hey, have you got your phone? Where's your phone? Oh, shit, it's over here. Sitting on the fridge. You know, or you got your keys? Where are your keys? Back up, what happened? You know, if someone's running late, you can tell them, oh shit, you alright? You know, we care about each other. That's the whole point. That's what love is. Now, we have to relearn love. We're going to relearn it, guys. We go back to school. It started with Mum. She loved you enough to give birth to you. I say that to myself. I thank her every day. She's up there watching down on me, and I love that. I live my life as if she's watching, because I still want to be that person that she loved. Okay? I'm still accessing that love that she had for me. So, no, don't despair, okay? I know it's hard when you're grieving, but maybe a decade after, you'll start to see that the person hasn't left you. They've been there all along, but you've just been so busy grieving for their body, which had to end at some point. Nobody lives forever, okay? Not physically. If you think you can transfer into another material, well, good luck with that. I'm not sure. I hope so. Wouldn't that be great? I'd love to come back as an element, maybe a wind or a rain or a sun or a bit of light traveling through the universe, whatever. Do you think the trees despair that they're not going to live forever? No, each day they make an effort to grow. Even if they're in poisonous dirt, they're still going to try, aren't they? So that's our job. Here we are, the trees in the forest, some of us somewhat poisoned, the groundwater, the environment's not as good as it should be. Planet, all right, it's growing grass, great. But is anything more going to come out of growing grass? No. Well, you got to do a bit more, don't you? You got to put the crops out. You got to grow something. You got to grow some apple trees. You know, feed the homeless. I don't know. Have a cause. Have a job. Have something you want to do. That's what you do. Oh my God! Someone got cancer out there. Listen, I'm sorry. That's terrible news. I'm sorry to hear that. I saw that word. Jeez. Yeah, that's rough. Look, that's what my mum had that, and look, it didn't last because she's not here anymore. But that took a long time. Okay? It took some time. These things don't just happen, you know. And look, your body has the ability to regenerate and repair itself. I believe you can pursue that. Don't listen to what some of the experts say. Some experts know what they're talking about, some don't. I'm not a doctor, so I'm going to tell you straight away. I know nothing about that mysterious illness, but it gets everyone. Dogs, cats, rabbits, they all get it. So it's not something just for us. It's something that occurs. It's part of life. I mean, when people died of old age, what do you think that really was? You know, I mean, something had to be wrong beyond them being old. Something had to fail to regenerate. So I think our job is to regenerate time and time again. We're not here to repeat the same old thing. You're not going to grow the same tree branch every day. You're going to grow a different tree branch, aren't you? If you're a tree, you're going to grow a bit of a leaf this way. You're going to grow a bit of a branch that way. You're going to make a flower up here. You're going to attract a bee over here. You're going to catch some rain over here. You're going to drain. You're going to get some water from one side of you. You're going to grow one side of yourself. Then when you get water on the other side, you're going to grow that side of yourself. And then slowly, the tree finds its way to grow. Okay? But you cannot force a tree to grow. You cannot put super growth formula into a tree. Yeah, okay, you might bloom it, but the thing is, it needs to find its own. You can't have a plant on life support. A plant must regenerate. So we are essentially like plants. Our intestinal flora is a lot like the roots of a tree. Think about each one, okay? There's a lot going on. Be careful what you eat, you know, that's really, really important. Don't put tons of things that are bad for you into your mouth. That's one tip I'll say, you know. And I know, well, I'm not even going to say, but somebody said what you put in your mouth will not, you know, make you foul. It's what comes out of your mouth that makes you foul. All right, interesting. I know where that came from. No credit required. Yeah, where we came from, where we're going, it's all a bit of a mystery. We don't know. I can tell you I'm going to work. That's a certainty. I know exactly where I'm actually going to go. So that's something predictable about me. If anything, the algorithms responded to my consistency more than anything else. But I don't like repeating myself time and time again. I feel mad. I can hear myself saying it. I can hear myself saying another thing I've said before, and I'll always say, oh shit, I've said this, you know. So I try to keep bringing up new things, because that's the whole point. You wouldn't watch the same episode of, you know, episode number 1100 of whatever show. You wouldn't watch that same episode time and time again. You'd eventually drift into the later ones, or go back to the early ones, or you'll change altogether. You'll go from watching the OC to watching One Tree Hill. Okay, you've gone from watching Melrose Place to Beverly Hills 90210. You've gone from watching Knight Rider to, you've gone to watching MacGyver. Then start watching whatever. I mean, that's what we do. There's no way you're going to watch one person. And I always thought that was a bit unnatural. I want a live to live. I'd love if all of you who chance by could just pop a window up and go, shut the fuck up, Magpie. you're a mad person. You know? Oh, that's the interaction I wish there was. I wish anyone could just jump in and go, nah, I don't agree with you, man. Go away. You know, I don't care. I'd love to hear that. Instead of me, like, kind of reaching out for some confirmation, I realized that obedient people are the ones who are most indecisive because they're waiting to be told what to do. Well, if you're waiting to be told what to do, you're waiting for some sort of teacher. And I don't think teachers are working day to day, every second of the day when you might need them. Like, yes, don't forget to shut the fridge. Don't forget to turn off the gas after you finish cooking. Who's going to be there for you? Well, other people. You need other people. So, one point I want to drive home. Humans were not meant to be alone. They're not solo animals, okay? We were born from others, and we live with others, we interact with others, and we should never die alone. You're not born alone. You're born in a room with people, one of which gave birth to you. So recognize that. Don't ever think you become a detached thing that exists all by itself. You'll have no depth. You'll be like a mosquito with really no purpose apart from looking for some water and then flying off, look for some blood. You know, okay, well done. But I don't think that's us. We came from others. We were nurtured and grown. Like a tree, like a plant. Think about your branches. What's the state of them, you know? What's the state of your leaves? Are they drawing in that light and converting it? You know, you got to look at the sun every day. I mean, for a few seconds a day, you must look that thing right in the eyes. Just for a few seconds to get, your body gets programmed from that. Did you know that? Like, have you noticed that? I mean, if the sun never came up, you'd never know what day it was, would you? You'd never know how to count. If we never saw a sunrise more than once, well, you'd go, oh, remember that time we saw that big yellow thing? You know, and now, yeah, whatever happened to that, you know? No, we see, there's things we don't bother asking because we know. We know we've seen a sunrise. We know we'll see another one, God willing, you know, that we're still here tomorrow. We'll see another one of these. Wasn't that great? Wow, you mean I get to see that again? That amazing show that no man could do, okay? No man could do that. I'm so glad that no man can make the day start or the sunrise or the tides come in or go. No man can control those things, and now feel good about that. You're not in control, and that's great. It's not your responsibility. So don't try and run the world, lead the world. You know, a grown-ass man should accept his limits, that of what he is. You know, you cannot influence thousands of people at all, really, unless you got something to share with them. If you got nothing to share, and all you're going to do is get specific about a certain thing and hope that enough people are interested in that. No, look, what are you trying to do that for? Just what for? My favorite topic is self-help. Learn how to help yourself, and that's basically all you need. You'll never need help, but you need to learn self-help from others. Then give credit to those people who helped you help yourself. And let's see, if we all help ourselves, we'll all be okay. But the thing is, don't help yourself to other people's things, right? That's one thing. That's, hang on, you know, do I help myself? No, I don't mean grab everything you want. That's ridiculous. Because if we all did that, there'd be nothing left. If you don't leave some candy, right, when you're trick-or-treating. I had these kids once. I left some stuff out because my child was asleep. So I left some stuff out for the kids to just help themselves to the candy. Guess what? one group of kids took the whole lot. They didn't leave any for anyone else. And I thought, okay, that's who I'm dealing with. So it never happened again. On Halloween, I don't even bother. Because I know one selfish kid is going to take all of the candy home. When it's for everyone. When it's Christmas, right? Do you want to be the only one unwrapping a gift and have the whole room looking at you? That's ridiculous. That's so insular. True case of a person, and I'm really shocked at some of the values on display. I remember singing, we were in a room singing Happy Birthday. The cake's sitting there, we're all standing around, birthday person's standing there. Guess what? We're all singing the song. One person is sitting with headphones on, reading a book, not singing, and sitting right in front of the cake. And I thought, well, do you get that you shouldn't really be sitting there at all if you're not participating? We're all singing Happy Birthday except for you. You're the one sitting nearest to the cake, and it's not your birthday. You got headphones on and you're reading a book. How disappointing. How disappointing that somebody was created like that. So selfish. So absolutely selfish. Just no idea of the inappropriateness of their own action. Enough. People like that take a long time to realize that they are human. They think they're not human. They don't have to participate. Well, I think you do got to participate or you're not really there. You know? So if you're looking for clarification that you exist or that you matter, well, have something to do with other people. Participate. Conversate. Don't emulate and then try to disappear. You know, you can't disappear. You're in the room, your presence is felt, whether you say anything or not. And by sitting there being like a kind of stubborn mule, really, not participating in what everyone is participating in at that time. What are you there for? To be the one who's not into it? Oh yeah, it's just another birthday for someone else. I'll just sit here next to the cake and not even participate. Wow. You are an amazingly weird human being to be behaving that way. Going through a treacherous merge right now. Sorry guys. Hey everyone, sorry. I'm not allowed to look no more. I got schooled. And I don't want to do the wrong thing. I want you guys here, that's why I changed the view. Like, you're my shotgun, right? You make sure I get to work. Make sure nothing happens to me. That's all. I need you. What am I going to say? You think I'd do this if I didn't need to? I kind of need to. You ever watch that movie that's called Memento? That movie resonated with me a little bit. Although, you know, I'm not that current. But the way he had to get a tattoo of everything so that he would remember what he was about or something. And his whole body was covered in tattoos that each one was a little reminder of the things that he'd been, where he'd been or what he'd done. Guy Pearce, that's it. Guy Pearce. Very good. By the way. A little bit forgotten now, but no, I still think it was good. There are some movies I've been trying to see and I never saw any releases. You know, like I'd heard about certain movies that were being made and I thought, okay, where is it? And all I saw were reviews of the movie. But no You know, what happened? Did you release it? Or did it just disappear into the reviews after it got made? Like suddenly it didn't have any kind of show on at the box office or something like that, or there was no write-up about the premiere, you know, like, I don't know, I think people just like, we canned it, you know, we just decided not to do it. Okay. There's one movie I want to see, and I hope they don't pull the pin. I want to see that Mandalorian movie in 2026, May. They said May 2026, this is the way, in May. I want to see that film, I want to laugh, I want to cry, I want to, all that. I've got all that expectation on it. After what you did by the end of the Mandalorian seasons, all the different ones. Yeah, we saw him ruin that, and then I thought, gee, this movie better be a consolation for not continuing a very good story. You know, yeah, I hope this movie kind of puts a cap on all that and says, good, we've done well, here it is. Here's the finished product of what we were really trying to do, is make a really good movie. I suppose there's more money in movies than in series. I don't know, is that true? I don't know. Isn't a series better because you can get lots and lots out of it, whereas one movie is just one movie, whereas a series has some sort of sense of longevity about it. It runs for a period of time and it flexes over time, like Simpsons. You know, it ran for so long, it runs for so long, and it flexes with the times. It becomes part of the time. Whereas one movie can't stand there forever. It exists and then it gets replaced by other movies that are newer. We have a very replaceable, consumeristic society where a new thing can come along that's better than the last thing, and that's good enough for now. But no, it's not going anywhere. We can't just keep trying to outdo each other. What do you think? Like this pod here. Just got to outdo everything. There before 7, please. If nothing happens, we get there. Now, I've really lost interest in trying to outdo people. It's not to be done. If somebody's done something, that's what they've done. You can't outdo that. You can't outdo what's been done. Think about it. You can't recreate the world, it's here, you know. We never created the world to begin with, you know. We didn't give birth to ourselves. You know, I think we just got to recognise that. Be humble. Don't recognise your limits. You're not everyone, you're not everything. You're just one thing. Just someone, okay? And it's up to you who you want to be. That's what I think. You've got that power, you've got that choice. You're not forced into being a certain person unless you're doing it. You know, you've got to take responsibility for who you are, for what you say, for what you do. For me, I'm always looking at my actions and trying to improve them, make them more effective. Become more fluid and more, what's that word when you flex with change and you can become reflexive. That's it. Reflexive. Being reflexive. Not a fixed entity. We're not fixed entities. We began to grow almost at the same time. You don't become something that didn't change. You became something that changed. And I think the essence of who we are is we're a changeable thing. Don't go looking for fixed stars, because then you will have to be a fixed star to underneath the other fixed star. But if you see that everything has its cycles and its movements, and you try and keep pace with that, that's all you've got to do, really. I mean, it's all you can do, isn't it? You can only navigate your way from one place to another. You couldn't proceed to go everywhere at once. That's pretty much impossible. Getting there, about 5 kilometres from North Melbourne, and I can see the skyline. It's pretty silver and cloudy a bit, but it looks like it might brighten. Hope we might see that sun again. As we go to Melbourne, it's covered in clouds, so don't let that get you down. Weather changes all the time here. You can't judge Melbourne by the weather you had in the last 10 minutes. You know, you've got to understand the weather's going to change soon. It's not permanent. You may be soaking wet, but that won't last. It'll dry. You know, it won't stay like that. You can always go and use the hand dryer to dry yourself off if you've got a bit saturated. You know, but it doesn't rain forever, and it doesn't stay windy forever. Nothing is forever. And I think, you know, let's just have a toast to the fact that nothing stays the same. Nothing really. Apart from what we fix to be the same. I'm Alex. That's always been my name. Okay, that's a fixed thing about me. About me. Not me, about me. Different thing. So when you refer to yourself, remember that reference is a third party thing. Even you couldn't have that objectivity to talk about yourself. So yeah, I recognize my limits there. I don't have that objectivity, nor do I want it. I don't want responsibility for the big picture and the way things are. I'm not taking responsibility for the millions of tons of expired nuclear rods buried down deep below the earth. That wasn't my idea. When someone dumped, I don't know how many million tons of toxic waste into the ocean, right? It was nothing to do with me, okay? And when some bad person decides he's going to carry an automatic gun and go out and commit horrific crime against other people, nothing to do with me at all. So yeah, I detach myself from that, because that's not being human. That's being an animal or a robot or a thing that doesn't think. No, animals even have more sense than to do that. Have you ever seen like a lion just go out and kill everything it can? No, it wants just to eat. That's all. It makes no sense that humans hunt each other down or have conflict. We were born out of societies and communities, and we got nurtured. For you to turn into some sort of homicidal maniac makes no sense, because you were born. You were born, someone gave you life. Why would it be your job to take somebody else's? It's not. It's not. That's wrong. So let's get back to the basics, yeah? The basics are killing is wrong. For us. It may be right for some animals to kill in order to eat, okay? And for this reason, we give ourselves some forgiveness, don't we, when we eat eggs, for example, or whatever. Things made by someone else and are essentially, potentially life. When you eat soybeans and stuff, were they living once? Yeah, well, okay, we eat carrots, don't we? We murder carrots, don't we? With intent. It's true. But, you know, those carrots don't mind being eaten. They're nutrients that need to go back into the planet, and they're coming back into the planet through us. I don't know if you can see the cars rushing past or not. It's incredibly dangerous. There's nowhere to stop. There's just concrete barriers and a huge drop down there. There'd be no saving if you went off the side here. No way. There'd be nothing to save you from that. And the people persist in risking other people's lives because they are just so stubbornly selfish about the way they want to proceed. I'm very disappointed with the driving I see, with the kind of behaviour I see. I see like some really selfish and dangerous people. And look, this is the reason I get up here, just to tell you guys to take care out there. You know, if you've sat here with me, I give you full credit. You're my friend. You watched out for me. You didn't have to stay the whole time. Just come see me. You know, I always tell people, I don't even have to watch it all. You know, like I don't watch all of it, anything. You know, like if I watch a movie, there'll be moments I don't pay attention. It's kind of like that. If you're just with me, that's cool. You know, I don't care if you don't hear everything I say. That's not the whole point. I want to express myself. If someone hears something that resonates with them, that's great. That's the whole point of communicating. That's it. I don't want money. You don't have to do a thing. I don't want likes or subscribers or any of that framework. I don't want any of it. I don't want ads. Nothing. I don't want anything. I'm not selling you anything apart from, hello, I'm Alex, the Magpie, guy who's been on YouTube forever and a day and has decided now, after years of silence, to just say something. And my job now is just to get in touch with you. That's it. That's it. We're like pen pals, but we're using modern means. You know, we're using technology to talk to each other because we can't sit and write letters. Although I'd love that. You know, I dream of just being able to have someone I could sit and write a letter to. You know, that they would sit and read, and I'd have that connection with them. But like, that's really what we started out doing, isn't it? That's the most important thing about us, is that we know how to communicate to each other. So I'm at work, guys. I love you a lot. Thanks so much for being there. I mean it.